back to the Blues game there where you were up 3-1 and let it slip away. That's a while ago, but I think of the Montreal game the other night where you could have closed that game out. Have you discussed as a team how you've handled late game situations, or is that just something that guys know? And how do you remedy what's happened to you?
Get better at it. I'm not going to get into explanations. We did it as a team.
Lineup change. Who's in goal, first of all?
Corky's in goal.
Okay. Is he still your number one goalie at this point, or is there competition going on?
Talking about Corpy's our number one guy. I've said that. I'm not going to put the boots to him because we went through a teaching process. So, yeah, Corpy's going to play tonight.
Any other lineup changes?
Murr is out. Harry's in. I think that's it. You know about Cole? Cole is out. That's been... Who? Who goes in for... He was out already, yeah.
Is Murray out because of the knee that hit the other night with the puck?
Murray's out.
Injured or healthy?
Out. Healthy. No, excuse me, injured.
I think you touched on this a little bit yesterday, but Bemstrom from the beginning of the season to now, how much progress have you seen, and are you starting to see him kind of get into spots where you want him to be out, especially offensively?
At times. Still has a ways to go. I think the power play, scoring a couple of goals, gets him more touches. But it's progress, I guess is the best way to put it.
Hey, Torts, getting back to and not your team in particular, but playing with the lead this day and age in the NHL and relinquishing the lead. It's happening. The Blues have had 5 2-goal leads they've relinquished. I mean, good teams have doing it. They're doing it all over the place. Is there something about the system or the way that the teams are playing that
it's a young, dumb league? Yeah, it is. It's just there are so many more mistakes paying up from back in the day that are constantly going on in the game. I think it allows teams to get in. It is. I've been fortunate enough to be in it a long time and see how the game has changed all the way through my career. But it is a game of mistakes right now because there's so many more than back in the day when you lock it down. And I think it's a mindset into where teams still want to go and they just don't defend it. I just think there's more mistakes made in the games that causes momentum swings.
Do you find it changes at a certain point of the season where teams and players dig in a little bit more defensively?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I know we are always, I'll speak on our team, Panger, we are always talking about working on that part of the game, the defensive part of the game, because if you're fortunate enough to get in, that's the only way you're going to progress in playoffs is not to make those mistakes that you do during the regular season to allow teams to, and to me it's making a mistake to allow a goal at a really bad time and momentum changes and then they just mounts on you. So we're always talking about momentum swings and so that's how we speak on it as far as the Blue Jackets are concerned. We're constantly trying to work at that. And it does get ramped up, sure. In that last quarter of the season, you're really banging home that. If you have an opportunity to get in, you're talking about that a lot more than you are during this time of year. I'll give you that.
And if you, as a coach, if you had to move the bar in terms of what you consider an acceptable mistake as to versus 10 years ago, in other words, stuff you just would not let fly 10 years ago that you have to say.
Oh, gosh.
There's so much of it now you almost have to.
10 years ago, my team would be paralyzed in 10 minutes into the game because of how much correcting I did 10 years ago compared to now. It'd be paralyzed. That's where it's changed. You can't overcoach. I say it to you guys all the time. I think we overcoach. And I do think that's been a problem from the coaches for a long time that we overcoach. But right now, you gotta back off. You really do. You can barely get them sitting still for 3 or 4 minutes in video nowadays. And yet, it is what it is. We can't fight that We just have to try to coach it in the best way to get the most out of your team and make them understand your team concept. It has changed completely. Good.
Thanks.
You need me?